easy on. I like that already. Not gonna have trouble being seen on the road today. I'm rocking the ASICS. It's hot, so this is not gonna be a long one. Trying to get a run out before the typhoon comes up from the south. May or may not hit us in central Taiwan here. So I have not worn ASICS since my junior year of college, when I had to stop wrestling due to injury. I just kept them in storage in the basement of a house in Pennsylvania. Wasn't able to part with them until like last year. ASICS had a monopoly on the wrestling shoes, but that's all I've ever done in ASICS was wrestle. Doing a little walking warm-up on a stone path here. Not feeling any stones with this cushioning. They're so white. Kind of don't want to make them dirty. Forgot to start my watch. Oh, a little overgrown here. Oh, yeah, they need to do some cutting at the new park. A little note on the Garmin Fenix 7. Yesterday I got like 5 notifications and it simply said some foreign holiday. It starts with an A. Anyway, it said Friday to Friday. It was like a reminder, a notification, and then I'd have to clear it. It's just kind of a bother. I don't know why that was happening. Anybody have a similar problem? I guess I could turn off notifications, but I like notifications. It's so cool to not have to get out my phone to see who is texting me. First impressions. These are like walking on clouds. I can just imagine like bounding down a hill with these on. They feel so light. I think they were like 10 ounces or so for such a maximal cushioned shoe. Super light. I'm wearing a US 8. Here they go by centimeters, so I think 26 centimeters. And my wife bought another pair of ASICS. Nice. Bling bling. The original plan was to get matching shoes, but it turns out that the men and women's styles for what I liked were different. My wife saw the ad originally on TV. And we're like, oh, we should get a pair of those. That would be cute. I really love that gold and blue combo there. The reviewers were saying the toe box is tight. I am not experiencing that at all. They were saying you should buy them a little big even. But yeah, it's roomy. I mean, I can splay my toes right now. Maybe I just have narrow feet. One thing I really like about these is they're pretty stiff, and I need stiff because I have a condition in my left foot called... It's really busy with the trains today. I have a condition called Hallux Rigidus or Hallux Limitus, which means my left toe I'm not able to put my toe up as high as most people. And it results in pain, especially if I go long. These are a little stiffer, and I also think the stiffness will give me a little bit of propulsion, but these do not have a carbon plate, and I was not looking for a carbon plate. These days, they market those things as just the race day shoe. First of all, those are expensive. Second of all, they don't last long. If they're marketing it as a race day shoe, they're pretty much saying, well, durability is not really there because they want to make them light. The focus is not on durability. These, on the other hand, there's a lot of rubber on the bottom, so I think these will last a while. I don't have any races coming up. These are going to be strictly a training shoe for all kinds of distances, and actually more walking than running these days. I know there's a fix for this holiday reminder notification that I don't want, and people will just say, okay, go into your settings and click this and then scroll down to this and do this. But who wants to do that? I never set it up for holiday alerts. I think that's a glitch. I also had another problem with this watch, which was the menu button, and I had to send it back at one point. Other than that, I love it. Walking warm up is done. Some stretching. Oh. I was checking the slippiness of this. Yeah, I wouldn't fall. Just did a mile at a minute over my marathon pace. So 10-minute mile there. I'm a little parched. It's so hot. In the store, I did a kind of a run around Xinguang Sangyue Mitsukoshi department store in Taichung. Is where I got these. The 12th floor? Anyway, where all the shoe brands are. I ran down the walkways and I felt a little bit of something going on right there. Now it's feeling okay. I just have to do more distance and see how it turns out. But the salesman, he was a good salesman. He goes, try these socks. They're a little thicker. You'll be okay with thicker socks. So I bought them. Good salesman. And yeah, it turned out okay. So now I have a new pair of padded bottom ASICS socks. Easy off. Can you guys see that? It looks like a Nike swoosh. And I didn't notice it until after my run. It's over here too, so it's not just dirt. It looks like dirt. I don't want any Nike. You guys know my experience with Nike. Let's dissect. Not literally, although I have been known to do that. We have a nice little kick plate here. There's decent tread. These little holes go down like maybe a millimeter. So it'll be a while before this rubs off completely, like my Hoka right now. My wear pattern would be right around here in the back. Yeah, I'm a heel striker, unfortunately, at my age. There's a channel. This is kind of a new thing in the last 5 years, maybe. The tongue is very thin, also mesh, and there is elastic on this right there where my middle finger is attaching to the side, so it's real stretchy. And you have a pull tab here as well as back here. A little bit of reflectix going on. While it is the Gel-Nimbus, it says pure gel. The gel cannot be seen anywhere on the outside of the shoe. They say that there is gel in the inside, in the heel. I think I'll take them for their word on that. I don't think I'll cut these up like I did the Nike FF Blast Plus. These little holes look cosmetic to me. I don't think any like air is squeezing out of those things. Ortholite inner sole is removable. I actually have done that before. I had my own orthotics put into shoes when I had a problem with this foot, which is now cured, hopefully. We don't have any fancy grommets, I guess, that would add to the weight. So it's just like these loops holding the lacing into place. Normal laces, they're not super stretchy. You got the extra hole that's pretty standard for your lockdown if you want it. This is a mesh upper, but it's kind of thick. I mean, it's substantial. So I was feeling a little hot in these, but it is midsummer in a semi-tropical island. You have like a centimeter of thickness around this heel cup. Real snug. There is something really hard inside there. I can definitely feel like You can even pull back the tongue. Okay, so my fingers were up here on the inside, and there's like an overlapping flap of extra material before the stitching starts. So there's no attempt to make that seamless. Although when I was running just with a thin pair of socks, I didn't really feel anything at all. So I think that's fine. No real rubbing sensations yet. Yeah, so first time out, I'm pretty impressed with these. Thank you, ASICS.